Well, on this note of wisdom entering and intervene before it becomes an explosive, uncontrollable situation of anarchy. On this note, the Wisconsin Supreme Court made the right decision just a few days ago in striking down Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers' stay-at-home or lockdown order. Why? Well, the governor did not properly vet his decree with the Wisconsin state legislature. Well, by vetting, vetting means to appraise, verify, check for accuracy, authenticity, and validity. Not too much of that is going on today at all. It's just rambunctious actions. Well, Governor Evers insisted that his administration needs to be nimble, and he's relying on health experts to guide his decisions. He has said that the procedure that the lawmakers successfully sought will mean that the state won't be able to act quickly. In other words, if I do what I'm charged to do and involve you in the decision making, we won't be able to act quickly. Well, the article on this subject continues. In the majority opinion, Roggensack, the Supreme Court, she's the Supreme Court Justice, her name is Patricia Roggensack. She determined, or the majority opinion determined, Health Services Secretary Andrea Palm should have issued regulations through a process known as rulemaking, which gives lawmakers veto power over agency policies. Without legislative review, an unelected official could create law applicable to all people during the course of COVID-19 and subject people to imprisonment when they disobeyed her order, the majority wrote. Well, the appearance of urgency or expedience does not permit a governor to forego the process involved in imposing restrictions on the behaviors and destinies of the Wisconsinites or any resident of a state. When this happens, the people are not represented through those they elected to represent them at the state level. You would think people would know this with law degrees. And regardless whether today's Wisconsinites favor Governor Evers' unilateral actions, according to a so-called public poll, the reasons why state legislators exist should not be abandoned, thereby setting precedents for dictatorship in the office of the governor. In this country especially, these actions will eventually produce civil unrest that state governments won't be able to overcome unless they are willing to shoot down their own residents. That's what I mean by blind. Blind leaders. Do today's Wisconsinites know anything about the Constitution of the state of Wisconsin when they decide to give their opinion through a poll earmarked to be published in the synagogue of Satan's mass news media? Well, when I was in high school, we were not taught the Constitution of the state that I was in, which was Pennsylvania. Not at all. Taught a little bit about the U.S. Constitution, but none about the state constitution. Well, everyone has access to Wikipedia today. Now, it states regarding the Constitution of the state of Wisconsin. The Constitution of the state of Wisconsin is the governing document of the U.S. state of Wisconsin. It establishes the structure and function of state government, describes the state boundaries, and declares the rights of state citizens. The Wisconsin Constitution was written at a constitutional convention held in Madison, Wisconsin in December 1847 and approved by the citizens of Wisconsin Territory in a referendum held in March 1848. Wisconsin was admitted to the United States on May 29, 1848, although it has been amended over 100 times. The original Constitution ratified in 1848 is still in use. This makes the Wisconsin Constitution the oldest U.S. Constitution outside of New England. Only Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Vermont, Maine, and Rhode Island use older constitutions. So today's Wisconsinites, even in their fear of COVID-19, cannot cast aside a constitution that predates their meager lifespans, consequently establishing a dictatorship of the office of the state governor that their children, grandchildren, and great-great-grandchildren will have to contend with. So just because we're afraid today, many of us live 80 to 90 years at best. Why should we undo constitutions that's older than before we were born? Because we're afraid today, and leave our children with that burden after we establish dictatorships because of ignorance and because of fear. Our future don't deserve that. They deserve better from those who think they're intelligent and educated. I can see why the scriptures say that children will be their masters, because adults are sure enough looking dumb as hell today. Well, this holds true not just for the state of Wisconsin, but for all state governments that have already fell or gradually becoming quasi-dictatorships because of expedience based on the appearance of a so-called health crisis. Now, it seems judicious that a health crisis of this magnitude would bring all the wisdom to the table that belongs at the table, instead of marginalizing those required by law to be involved in the process. If you are really trying to save Wisconsinites or Pennsylvanians or Delawareans, then all hands are on deck. You don't arbitrarily and unilaterally make a decision because you don't have time to obey the process upon which people bled and died to set up those constitutions. So this kind of behavior by Governor Evers and other governors epitomizes stupidity and inordinate ego, which men are known to exude in abundance.